Arriving for his trial, one of Russia's most respected human rights campaigners. Oleg Orlov stands accused of repeatedly discrediting the Russian army through his public criticism of the war in Ukraine. He faces up to 3 years in prison. Ahead of the trial, he told me how concerned he is by the wave of repression sweeping Russia.
По жестокости, по срокам.
By the level of cruelty, by the length of prison terms being handed out. This is reminiscent of Stalin's time. Civil society has been pushed underground, partially. What I fear is that it may now be completely destroyed.
More examples. Theatre director Zhenya Berkovich wrote anti-war poems. She's been charged with justifying terrorism in one of her plays. That could mean 7 years in prison. And for anti-war online posts, Olga Smirnova is accused of spreading fake news about the Russian army. She faces a decade in jail. On paper, the Russian constitution guarantees freedom of conscience and freedom of speech. In reality, Russians who publicly criticize those in power are taking a considerable risk. The authorities here have built up quite a hefty toolbox of repressive laws, which are used to punish those who criticize the government and the war in Ukraine. But they are not forgotten. Once a month, Muscovites come here to write letters and postcards to political prisoners. The event is organised by one of Russia's last remaining liberal parties. In a country where collective protest is restricted, there's still pen and paper to show solidarity and support. Just a few words, but they can mean so much to those behind bars.
You might start thinking that you are alone, you might fall into depression, and when they read our cards, our letters, I hope that makes them feel better.
The music matches the mood, the anxiety as repression grows. But writing these is one way of showing they won't be silenced. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.